Good afternoon. My name's Dr. Neil Jepson, and I am a licensed clinical psychologist in Bloomington, Illinois. And just reaching out, trying to put out some helpful tips to all the folks out there who, as we try to deal with stuff we've never really had to deal with, our stay-at-home, shelter-in-place protections that we're trying to follow for trying to slow the spread of this COVID-19. And it's been hard. It's been hard on just about everybody. I think everybody has had some kind of difficulty or another. And one of the things that has come up quite a bit when I've talked to people is that they're dealing with anxiety, and certainly the times can lead us to feel pretty anxious. And I've posted other videos about dealing with the thoughts, but one of the things that I find is really, really important is that the first thing we really need to do before we can change our thinking or really make decisions about what we want to do in a circumstance, we have to bring down our physical arousal, right? So when we feel anxious, fearful, stressed, worried, we know we're feeling that because there's a change in our body, and what has been engaged or activated is called the fight or flight system. And all that is it's just our brain has detected something that it perceives as a threat or a challenge, and it's trying to get our body ready to fight or run away. And so we feel the physical effects of that. The thing is, when that happens, that part of our brain that detects that is not really the reasoning and thinking part of a brain. I'll post some stuff about that later, but what happens is it shuts off the thinking brain. We can't think clearly. So in order to use a lot of the techniques and strategies that we've either heard of and some of the ones I'm going to try to show at other times, we really have to first start with getting our bodies relatively relaxed. Now, I want to say this with the caveat that maybe I think sometimes we don't realize that we get this idea that if we do some sort of relaxation exercise that we just, all the stuff that we're feeling is just going to melt away or go away instantly. But that's really not what's going to happen, because if somebody gave you a shot or an injection of adrenaline, your heart rate would go up, right? And there isn't any breathing exercises that would really bring that down until that adrenaline wore off. And so that's kind of what happens. Our brain, our mind, we perceive some threat, and our bodies have been activated. And what I want to show you today is a really simple, easy technique that anybody can use. But I always like to introduce that caveat that you may still feel some of the effects of the adrenaline that's been pumped into your body. You can stop pushing the button that is causing the adrenaline to be released, but that's what we want to do. We want to be able to get our thoughts online and our thinking brain online and really be able to step back and say, okay, what's the best action for me to take? But in order to do that, we have to reduce the physical arousal. And it kind of works like this. We want to slow our mind down, but I've never really seen a technique or strategy that does that, because what we usually really end up doing is slowing the body down. And the body and the brain are connected. They can't be at different arousal states. And so if we're going to slow our mind, we've got to slow our body down first. I'm going to show you a really quick way. This is really neat. It's one of my favorite things to show people. I love meditation. I think it's a great habit, and it's a great thing that you can learn to do, and it can help you really be aware of your body and learn ways to calm and relax and focus. And unfortunately, though, a lot of the studies, a meta study that was done not too long ago showed you had to do that for 26 minutes a day. And if you can do that, that's great. But my experience has been most people are not going to do that. They're not going to take that much time out of their day. They have busy lives, for better or for worse. And so a lot of times people just won't do that. The other thing is a lot of meditation and a lot of the techniques we're taught, they cause us to, they require us to sort of check out. So it looks something like this, right? And we're closing our eyes and we're checking out from what's going on around us. And that's a nice thing to do if you can do it, but that doesn't really help me in a lot of the situations where I really need to do this slowing. Okay, so I'm going to show what I call a rapid relaxation technique. You can do it in really, we'll see, I've got a timer going here. You can do it in really about 3 minutes, about 3 to 5 minutes. And most people that I show this to find that there is a significant drop in the anxiety or stress that they're feeling. And so if you want to try it out, I invite you to think about something that is stressful in your life right now and just sort of notice what your body goes up to. Take a couple moments and think about that and just sort of rate 0 to 10 what's the stress level you're feeling or what's the tension or anxiety you're feeling in your body. And just sort of make a note of that number, notice where you feel it in your body. Then take a deep breath in and let it out. And as you're doing so, I just want you to notice, where does that breath go? Where do you feel that happen in your body? Okay, the muscle where you want to feel it is down below the rib cage. The muscle, the diaphragm is a muscle that sits at the bottom of your rib cage, and when we flatten that out, we feel like we're breathing into our belly, and so sometimes you hear belly breathing. So try this out if you can, if you don't have any neck or shoulder injuries, if it's physically possible and okay for you to do so, but just lace your fingers together, put them behind your head, and if you can see, I'm really opening up. Okay, so I'm going to lift my chin up and push the elbows back a little bit. I don't want to be creating too much tension in my back, but I really want to open up in the front here. And now take a deep breath in and let it out. And see if that feels a little different. This action, this position really kind of forces you into more diaphragmatic breathing. And what I'm going to ask you to do is just begin to get a rhythmic and even breath. Don't do deep breathing. We're not engaging in deep breathing. That's okay to do, but I just a normal, maybe just a nice, easy and light and rhythmic and smooth breath, okay? You don't want to hyperventilate and be breathing too deep. That actually can increase your anxiety. But it's just a nice and easy, gentle breath, and it should be smooth. So you're either breathing in or you're breathing out at whatever is a comfortable pace for you. Okay? And just keep that going. I'll remind you as we do this exercise. And I'm doing this so, I know this looks a little silly, maybe feels a little silly, but and you don't have to do the elbows up every time, but that's just to kind of make sure we're doing some diaphragmatic breathing, and I'm going to use it for something else in a second. But just keep a rhythm going to your breathing. Just a nice, smooth, easy and rhythmic breath. And then lock your eyes out on a spot straight out in front of you. Continue that breath. We're going to continue that breath all the way through this little exercise. And we're going to engage the peripheral vision. And that's out to the sides. And we do that by trying to see both our elbows without moving our eyes or our elbows. And keep breathing rhythmically. If you can't see your elbows, that's okay. That's not really the goal. I just want you to push your vision as wide as you can. And you may notice that it feels a little uncomfortable to be in this position, and that's okay. Just keep breathing. We're only going to do it for another moment or two. Wide vision, easy and rhythmic breathing. And then keep breathing and keep your vision wide and let your hands and arms just drop down. Drop them down and let them rest. And while you continue to breathe rhythmically and smoothly and evenly, and your vision is wide, let all the muscles from the top of your head down through your face, your neck, shoulders, arms, your chest, your back, your abdomen, let your whole upper body just relax. Let every muscle relax. Let your whole upper body sink down into your pelvis. And continue to breathe and engage that wide vision, and every muscle relaxes. Another moment or two. And now I want you to just kind of rate how your body feels right now. 0 to 10. What's the anxiety, stress, tension that you feel? It should have dropped. Now, not everybody feels that, but that's a quick and easy way that you can rapidly, and in just about any situation, bring your arousal level down, your autonomic arousal level down. And what's neat about that, what I love about that, is it's great to use in conflicts, emergency situations, sports, really high pressure situations. I can always engage in rhythmic breathing even when I'm talking. I'm doing it now, and it doesn't seem weird. Nobody really notices. As a matter of fact, it can be very calming on other people that I'm communicating with. And I can engage my peripheral vision while looking you dead square in the eye. I can look the camera right in the eye and be looking over here at the things on my shelf and over here at something at a spot on my wall, and it doesn't look any different, and I can always relax my muscles. If you will do those three things and practice them, just take 5-10 minutes a day and just practice those. And again, you don't have to do this all the time, but just practice it using diaphragmatic breathing, and see if you don't get a little bit better at bringing that arousal level down. And then you can engage some of the things that challenge your thinking, and all the other things that maybe you've already learned, or maybe I'll show you some other time on here. But I'm going to sign off for today. I hope that's helpful to you. I want to let everyone who watches this video know, if you're needing some help, you're struggling, you just need somebody to talk to, it is possible. We can do appointments through video and telehealth. That is currently approved by just about every insurance company, and so we're able to do that. And I'm getting back in the office next week, so we will have some face-to-face appointments available. Just reach out if you want to make an appointment with myself or one of my colleagues. Please call me at Psychology Specialist 309-706-3190. And again, I'm Dr. Neil Jepson, and hope that was helpful to you. Take care. Bye-bye.